Josh has clearly established himself as the best Australian bodybuilder of all time. And people might watch this and say that's a big statement. It is. But if we look at the people that have gone before him, we've probably had two other real contenders in pro bodybuilding with Sonny Schmidt and Lee Priest. And each of those were fantastic champions at the time in the era they competed in. But like any other sport, runners run faster, cars go quicker, people jump higher, they lift bigger weights. And in that 15 or 20 years, the sport of bodybuilding has gone through the biggest change in the history of the sport. And we're in a freak age. So for someone to be able to stand up and win shows as an unknown in that age makes them a better bodybuilder. But if you just break it down and go, well, who's the best bodybuilder? If you line them all up and put them in a contest, all the best bodybuilders from the last 20 or 30 years, put them all in the contest, there's only one favourite and there's only one winner. It's a clear winner, and that's Josh Lenartowicz. Everyone's asking how you're going to qualify and when you're going to qualify for the Olympia this year. I know we were talking earlier about finding a show which is in the back half of the calendar which still qualifies you for this year's Olympia. And I think the obvious one was Tampa.
Yeah, I think that's a smarter choice. I've got to think of the bigger picture, which is the Olympia.
It's funny because we've already had 4 Arnold Classics. And you know what bites at me? You could have won all of them. You could have won Columbus this year, you could have won Australia. You would have 100% won Brazil and South Africa. And then there was that New York Pro, I think you could have won that. And there was a Toronto Pro, and you could have won that. It was a weak lineup at some of the Arnolds this year. The shape that you're in at the Arnold and in Barcelona, particularly last year, I think you could have just wiped the floor. And I know we can't look back, but sitting here now, do you wish you had done them all?
For sure I do. It sucks, but it's you know what life throws at you, that's the hard thing. So yeah, now it's looking forwards. What can I do now to qualify for the show?
You're right, life does throw some obstacles and some of that stuff was beyond your control, I know that. But looking back and thinking, okay, what that says to me is you are the real deal. And I think that's what all the people in the sport were saying, well, if Josh had been here, and they're all talking Josh. And from here, it's only forward you go. So I think any show you go in, you're going to be the favourite. You can pick any pro show on the IFBB calendar now, and you're going in as hot favourite and the one that everyone wants to beat.
Yeah.
And that's probably a great position
really cool
to be in if you're in shape, obviously.
Yeah, definitely. I better be a good hugger after them.
Give great hugs. Number 1 hugger. My poor husband has hardly seen me over the last few months because at the moment he's, I guess, half the team's missing. Like our normal routine for prep mode hasn't really kicked in yet. Just because I've been sort of not really present sort of with my family, spending a lot of time with my family at the moment. He's been fantastic, handling everything on his own for the last couple of months.
Fending for myself?
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm like, do I cook the chicken breast in the packet or am I meant to take it out of the packet first? Because there's no calories in the packet.
It's like, where's the kitchen? Yeah. Kidding. Family is so important to us, and given everything that's happened in the last couple of months, you really appreciate time with your loved ones.
Also a good massage bench or a tickling device.
Hey. Trying to concentrate.
Bodybuilding's really, it's like you can't expect other people to do the work for you. But like I'm lucky now, I've got muscle mills, like ATP Doldy, so a lot of those things are covered. So great news again. Re-signing with Muscle Mills Direct, who have been my food sponsor since before I won my first pro show. So the clean food is obviously yum, but then the off-season food is a lot more tasty. So that's very, very thankful that I'm with them. I'm appreciative when someone gives a helping hand, like Liz gives a helping hand. And it's nice to do the cardio together and training, because we both benefit and get to spend more time together. We're a good team.
We did cardio together last night and the night before and training today, and so that feels a little bit more normal for comp prep. So yeah, it feels good when we're together, doing it together. So I hope I'll be supporting Josh too, moving forward in the next few weeks, in the next 9 to 15 weeks.
For me, how my body is going and progressing at the rate it is, I feel like I'm going to be hitting my peak in about 2 more years. So although I'd love to place highly in this show and next year's show, I think 2019, 2020 is more to where I'm going to be hitting my stride and being at the top of my game. So for me, I just need to play it safe a little bit, and then when I need to go hard, I'll just put the foot down and really give it everything, and then some. You know, get back to where I was and then some. Have to win a pro show to qualify. And you can get points with second, third and fourth, but to lock yourself in definitely, you have to win a pro show. But when I'm training with purpose, I mean, there's no greater motivator than having a goal and the purpose behind the goal. There's always that why behind the reason. And as the show gets closer, that becomes so much more apparent, and it's just, your training for me, it always goes to another level. I think if you asked me like 2 weeks ago how I felt if I was in the right space to compete, I'd probably know, but bodybuilding's such an intense lifestyle, and when you're not living the comp prep lifestyle, it's a lot more manageable. I've been trying to get my rhythm going, like my cardio going, and eating healthy again, healthier. I'm training regularly and pushing myself in the gym, and it's almost been a couple of false starts that, like, I'll get into a bit of a rhythm Monday to Thursday, and then I'll just be smashed and exhausted, and that's happened for a couple of weeks. Now I feel a lot more confident, so I'm in a good space. There's always going to be days now where I'm going to be tired, and that's where it's non-negotiable. Whether you're tired or not, you've still got to do the cardio, and especially now knowing it's not only 9 weeks away, if I'm tired, I've still got to get in. You got to realise it's for a purpose, and I don't want to be on stage and I want to win, or what's the point of doing it? If you can't do a job right, you shouldn't do it at all. So don't be a fence sitter, just be either all in or not at all. That's what I believe bodybuilding's about. It's having a vision and then shaping your body to be in line with that vision, and not changing that vision because of how someone else at the top looks. It's staying true to what I believe bodybuilding should look like and be like. Getting it to the Olympia and seeing myself at the most conditioned I've been, and how my body looks with the least amount of body fat on it, I can really see where my proportions are lacking more than ever. So it's just a matter of bringing them up. You'll ask a bodybuilder where they need to improve on, and if they've got a vision in their head of their ultimate physique, if they're honest, they'll say it almost everywhere. And I've always had this dream and vision in my mind of how I want my physique to look like, and I'm on the right track to it. So some things have greatly improved that have come in symmetry, like my legs, my quads are definitely up there now to where I want them to be, and now it's just a matter of building up like my back and my chest and a bit more arm density. But my shoulders are my strong point, my quads are my strong point now. I'm happy with them. And then my back, because it's starting to develop in certain sections, I need to then continue that. Like my lats are definitely a strong factor, but down the lower end, connecting into my erector spinae, it's just desert there. It's no man's land. I need to develop that. I feel like I'm ahead. I've learnt my body well enough in my 20s and done everything the right way, and my health's great and I've got no issues and my body doesn't have any injuries. As much as I love being big and strong and everything like that, it's so unfunctional. It's a restriction. I love it, but of course everyone wants an easier life. Get out of the car, get into the bathroom. I've always been clear in my mind that the body doesn't define who I am muscular-wise. It's for my sport, and when my sport's done, then I've got no use to have massive size. For me, it's always been a pursuit to try and maximise my genetic potential and see how I can fare up with what I visioned in my mind. If I can achieve that, I don't want to live with any regrets. Whereas some people, it's approval of others and fitting in and feeling like they're small for any reason. And it's a kind of an odd thing, bodybuilding. People think, oh, this guy is not comfortable within himself, or he's got body dysmorphia. It's not that at all, when people don't realise that the sport of bodybuilding, of course I know I'm bigger than 99% of the people out there, or have better proportions. It's just that this is what bodybuilding is about, and it's about bringing your vision in alignment with what you want to achieve. And like I tell people, how can an architect and a builder be happy when the product's not finished? Even though they've built something, if it's not finished yet, you can't be satisfied. And that's how I feel with my physique.
Now that you've resigned yourself to getting ready here in Australia, not getting sucked into Los Angeles or Kuwait or any of these places, it's a funny thing, because a lot of people say, like these days, I say, you've got to go to Kuwait, they're building these great champions. Well, they haven't won an Olympia yet, and they haven't won an Arnold yet, so let's see about that. And back in the day, everyone said, oh, you've got to move to Venice, California to be a Mr Olympia champion. And if you look at the Mr Olympias over the last 20 years, Lee Haney never lived in Venice, California, and he won the Olympia 8 times. And then Dorian Yates trained in a little dungeon in Birmingham in England where no one knew him, and he won the Olympia 6 times. Then Jay Cutler won it 4 times, and he lived in Las Vegas. He never got sucked into Venice. Dexter Jackson won it once, and at that time he was living in Florida. Ronnie Coleman won it 8 times, and he trained in a pit in Texas, and he never went to LA. Phil's in Denver, Colorado. So there you go. So our last, 5, 6 Mr Olympia champions, none of them lived in Venice. It may be the greatest myth of all time and the biggest distraction. When you stop and think about that, you say, well, if Haney can do it from Atlanta and Dorian can do it from Birmingham, well, Josh Lenartowicz can do it from Melbourne, Australia. There's no doubt in my mind.
I feel like for me to be, number 1 in the Olympia, you're going against this force of Phil Heath, who's 6 times already. He wants to get 10 Mr Olympias. Well, confidence breeds more confidence, right? So he's done it before, so what's to say he can't do it again? But then at the same time, you can't control other people's free will, and my free will is to be better and better and better, and it's a subjective sport, so I'm hoping that the vision in my mind when it comes into reality with all my body parts and my condition and my, with my symmetry, my size and condition, that it's going to be, I believe it's going to be an incredibly hard physique to beat on stage. So it should be a fun battle.
It was awesome to listen to your humble side. Now I want to talk to the warrior, Josh, okay? You an IFBB Pro champion. You placed 3rd in the Arnold Classic here. Now, going into the Olympia, which is the biggest show on the planet, whose ass are you kicking from the guys that you already know? I don't want to hear your humble side now. I want to hear the Josh, when you train, who you prepping for, who you know I have to beat in order to go a place where I want to place.
It's cliche, but I always have to beat myself, and even if I'm 800 kilos of fat, I'm going to pick myself to win over anyone else.
That's again your humble side.
Over anyone else. No, it's not. It's true. Of course I want to win. Everyone wants to win because...
Do you believe in your heart?
If you win, you have more of a reach to impact lives.
Do you believe in your warrior heart when you train?
Yeah.
That you can beat guys like Rami, Phil, Sean Roden, Dexter Jackson? Do you believe you can do that?
Yeah.